Yo, what's shaking, people? Happy hump day to you. Hope you're all doing well out there. It's Wednesday. We're like halfway through the week. If you're wanting to make lovely sounds like this, today's reactor ensembles are Terang again. This one is, I believe, from Flint Pope. Got it running through some granular delay into some saturation, into some shimmer, or no, into some like dotted eighth delay, little detuning, little shimmer verb. The other reactor ensemble, it's a little wind chime ditty. I've got that, it's called Thule. Got that running through molecular and replica and portal, and then through some shimmer. What's up, Seth? Happy hump day to you, homie. I need to catch up with you. Tom is here. What's up, Tom? Masters by Iggy in the chat. You want something mixed and mastered, like you probably can't, send it to Tom. Paul is tuning in from sunny Maryland. Welcome in, Paul. How you doing, homie? Hope you're well over there. Dave is here. Britboy4321 in the chat. Greetings from cold, wet, and horrible England. It is bright, crisp, 20% clear, and very cold here in Portland. Heidi's here. And Danny's here. Imaginate's here, you guys. All right, well, now that we've made it through who's in the chat, welcome in. When last we met, I'd been making some cinematic pings with y'all. And bounced those, made some FM pings. I think I'm gonna make some piano pings. Made one little sub drop and a little kick. Start layering those and kind of fleshing out the last little bits of the sound pack. We're gonna listen through it tomorrow and make sure it's good for release, but gonna have a whole bunch of pings. Pingalicious. Paul's working on another video. Very nice, very nice. I had a like little daydream the other day of Paul having his own segment, like a Rummian Reporter segment on someone's variety show of some sort. He walks around with some sort of modular rig and just grabs random people off the street. And instead of asking them if they know fun facts or whatever, or who they're going to vote for or whatever, you just ask them, can you make some noise with this, please? And see what people do with a modular synth for the very first time. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Like you put on some headphones and cringe and wait for them to start doing the thing, and I think it'd be hilarious. I would watch that show. Produce Pete. Oh, there might not be jams because of the Super Bowl? Oh, screw that. Score the Super Bowl. Oh. Danny says, I just had a Korg mini log dropped off on the front porch this morning. I think I just got a voicemail saying that a Korg is being delivered to me. So hey, twinsies. I don't know which one it is yet because I haven't checked the voicemail because I've been in meetings all day, but awesome. Korg crew. Bus terminal modular. Yeah, it's like it's the opposite of busking. It'd just be great. I don't know why I started daydreaming about this, but I started daydreaming about it. And I had to share it, so now it will infect your minds, and probably nothing will ever come of it in the real world. But it's a fun thing to think about. Oh, Danny's saying Super Bowl's in my neck of the woods. 5G towers going up quick. Oh, wow. Yeah, right. To accommodate for. Oh, wow. Yeah. New drum log is starting to ship. Nice. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, you think about that like with the Olympics or whatever, like people build stuff for years to get ready for it, but you don't really stop and think about the Super Bowl. Like it happens every flipping year. But yeah, yeah, if it's in a new place, that place has really got to prepare, huh? Damn. Can you imagine being stuck in Super Bowl traffic in like a big city? Wait. Hold on a second. If the Super Bowl is held in LA, can anyone even tell a difference in the traffic? Is that like a thing? Like, do people have to leave any earlier? Maybe not. It's all a conspiracy. Respect the gazelle. Thank you so much, Ben. Nanowires in the chat. Dude, I've been out with COVID. That's where I was. Which is conspiracy talk for I was sent on a covert mission. I think the World Cup is going to be in LA in a couple of seasons, man. I'm feeling way less COVID-ish, and I've got like some general stuffiness that hasn't gone away. I'm like 50% stuffed. I still have the tinnitus on the left side mostly, and the splitting headache on the right side, which is still slowly driving me insane, but whatever, I've been dealing with it for weeks, so I guess I can deal with it for however much longer it's gonna do its thing. Jaden, welcome in. Happy hump day. Yeah, you can show us the song. Go into the Discord and drop it in the public feedback. I'm willing to do a little bit of feedback today. Not too much, but a little bit. Gonna be a little bit productive. Was I in San Francisco when the Super Bowl happened? I might have been. I don't know, because traffic always sucks in San Francisco. You see what I'm saying? That's my point. It's like, it's like there were some really big shows and stuff that happened while I was there, and I don't know that I actually noticed like a discernible difference in the traffic. Like it still took over an hour to get over a bridge. You know what I mean? And the BART still like cracked my ears open as it went around corners. So. Saf, some of the Roland reissue stuff is pretty good. Yeah. Hey, are we not seeing commands work? All right, I'm seeing this in the chat, so hold on just a second. Let me just see why. Let's see here. Which Oh, I see. Terms of service have changed. They probably make everybody log in, find out, or to see why their stuff isn't working. All right, let's see here. What do I need? I need, back on. All right. Well, that's a pretty cheap. Oh, come on now. Don't toggle back. All right, command should be working. Let's see. Let's see if that's true. Yay! All right, so we can use commands. Back out of there. Go find my Discord. All right. Hey, you guys see this post from Javar? He's got a little unboxing live stream that he wants to do with this little mechanical Celesta that he got, and then kind of go through the process of making a sampled instrument with it, like live on stream, and then kind of continue up with a fun series. I think it's a great idea. It's a great idea. All right, let's see here. Just a reminder, if you are short on inspiration and you want something fun to do, get out of your ruts, click on image prompts in the community challenges area and scroll through the many, many images. I need to upload more. I know I haven't uploaded more for a couple of weeks because fucking COVID. But anyway, scroll through, find some stuff that inspires you. When you find one, download it and then work with it, right? Make a sound, make a song, make a beat, whatever. Turn around and upload that image and whatever you created, community uploads, and share it with the community and let us hear what went through you when you looked at a picture, because that's a pretty cool thing. And then, you know, if I'm vibing with it, I can download it and twist it up, re-upload it, and so on and so forth. So it's a really fun way to kind of play past the mic with your friends, stay inspired, make some new kinds of music. Anyway, you can find the images and image prompts and community uploads is where you upload to. And a quick reminder that if you are a subscriber on Twitch, you get free sound packs every month. And I'm dragging this month because of sickness, so I haven't gotten a new sound pack up yet. So there are still 2 big old dialogue sample packs up here for subscribers. Martin's here. Hello, good sir. Well then, thank you, Jaden. Even put the unreleased music video in it. Nice. Oh, nice, Tom. Yeah, bring him on over. I'm just reading your comment about new Twitch friend. Yeah, good stuff. All right, so public feedback. Let's turn off this noise in the background really quick. All right, I can't remember where I was in this project. All right, Discord. Text edit. All right, so this one is from AJ Ryan. Jaden in the chat, I believe. And, oh, it looks like Ben's got something in here too. Is the video containing the music? Like, should we just play the video? Tom, you take care. Ben. Oh. Serum is easier to get around, it's true. It's so true. All right, let's just see if this video has the music in it. And It does contain blood. All right. Well, maybe for those who haven't had breakfast yet, we'll listen to this. And those that don't mind blood or knives, you can check out the video there. Thank you for the heads up on that. Tom, you're amazing. You just get an advertisement? You shouldn't be getting an advertisement, man. People say they get advertisements, and then I go in and I look, and I have all advertisements turned off, and I don't know why Twitch. I don't know why Twitch. All right, let's listen to this. Ah. All right, all right, all right. Why aren't you hearing it now? What's going on today? Let's check off setting. Audio, video. All right, well, you know, what is this? Third time? Third time's a charm? Try it again. Still nothing. You know, I think something is wonky with one of the sticks of RAM that I installed. I put in 2 new sticks of RAM and took this beast up to 80 gigs recently. And shortly after, there were a couple of kernel panics, which isn't like too out of the ordinary. Did a update and having some weird audio driver things pop up here and there ever since. Let's see if that fixed it. Okay. Let's just check the. Oh. Sorry, you guys. Weird. All right, what's going on? Output. Oh, well, that would explain this. Okay, well, that works for that. Let's. Disco. Okay. All right, let's try this again from the top. No gazelle? Dude, there was definitely a gazelle when you subbed. Go back and look. There was definitely a gazelle when you subbed. Martin, you can absolutely post 2 pictures.
I hate the way that I've been living lately. And all my friends and family think I'm acting psycho killer crazy. I'm stressing out, somebody come sedate me. Panic mode is getting on, but I don't know. Liven my mood, brighten my point of view, widen my room. Say you don't mind me, but I know you do. Hurry up, I'm ticking like a time bomb, about to erupt. This could take a while, better fill up your cup. I really hate to say it, but I'm too impatient. Hurry up, you're ticking like a time bomb, about to erupt. This could take a while, better fill up your cup. I really hate to say it, but I'm too impatient. Killing the dramatics and top of the show. I kinda think it's funny, cause I really gotta know. I'm in $1 million mood and now I'm digging gold. Changing up my daily before I'm pushing daisy. Liven my mood, brighten my point of view, widen my room. Say you don't mind me, but I know you do. Hurry up, I'm ticking like a time bomb, about to erupt. This could take a while, better fill up your cup. I really hate to say it, but I'm too impatient. Hurry up, you're ticking like a time bomb, about to erupt. This could take fight against my brain. One is optimistic and the other's Novocaine. I'm alone and now the pressure's turning into pain. Damn, I need to take a breath, it's driving me insane.
Hurry up, I'm ticking like a time bomb, about to erupt. This could take a while, better fill up your cup. I really hate to say it, but I'm too impatient. Hurry up, I'm ticking like a time bomb, about to erupt. This could take a while, better fill up your cup. I really hate to say it, but I'm too impatient. Pick it up. Pick it up now.
Hello?
I really hate to say it, but I'm too impatient.
Hey, brain. I'm sick of this shit.
This is really solid, by the way. Like the production quality is great. This your first release? You spent 10 months on it. How long have you been doing production in general? Like you've obviously gone through the process a few times. But I mean, as like just a general statement, the production quality is really ace. About 4 years. Good, good, excellent. Really good stuff. I have questions like, are you producing entirely in the box? Are these your vocals? Is this a solo project? You got buddies wrapped in with this. Really good stuff though. Your vocals, cool. Yeah, the songwriting, the composition, the lyrics, the delivery of the lyrics, the vocal performance, the production, all of it's really solid. All of it is really solid. And for 4 years, I would say you're ahead of the curve. Solo project, it's good. This is really good. I think that there's like tiny little things that we could nitpick, right? I think that, again, just as a general statement, this is there. Like this is a really good production quality, and it's always most important that it's like as close as possible to whatever is inside your head, right? That you're trying to get out, regardless of what other people are saying. So here's what I would have to say about it. There's a little bit of room for EQ work on some of the stuff on the sides, like those plucks. They're really, really nice. They are a little bit thick and heavy. The lower frequencies don't necessarily need to be there at the level that they are right now. And when you hear certain mid-range elements like the telephone, it's one of those types of competitive nature things where pretty much no matter where you would put that telephone or those plucks, they would still be in competition with each other because they have such similar focal points in the frequency range, right? And the way that they're being delivered and kind of hang over each other, it leaves you with the desire for more separation, right? So, and not just the telephone, but that's a really good kind of more glaring example of the options in the mix. So I would say if you're looking for ways to improve it, it would probably be worth going through and auditioning every track solo, and then again in context, and then back again in solo, and seeing if you can shave off a little bit of low frequencies or mid-range frequencies in your mid and low elements in general. And just shave what you can. Just shave what you can. The other thing that can help with definition in the mix is not relying upon making things louder through compression, but instead through saturation. So something like a telephone, for instance, has natural harmonics that might be squashed a bit through compression, where they could be made to shine a little bit more through saturation. Right, so there are a couple of like processing choices that you could like commit yourself to moving forward to help certain things kind of pop and shine in the mix. But I don't really want to give you any other like technical nitpicky feedback because it's really good. It's really good, and don't deviate too much from what you're already doing. Sounds good. You've never used compression. That's great. That's great. Okay, so then it's probably just an EQ thing on a couple of the sounds. It's probably just an EQ thing. Try to experiment with the different sounds in your mix in making small attenuations, making small cuts in your EQ. without losing any body or life force in the sound. And when you find those sweet spots where you can do that, where you can take out a few decibels of frequencies and it doesn't really affect the overall delivery of the sound, do that. Especially if they're, kind of middle of the road sounds. Like they're not super bass heavy or super treble heavy. Um, any kind of little bits of shaving that you can do right now will just give you a little bit more clarity and power and punch song. Well, really good stuff. Really good stuff. And big ups for no compression. That's awesome. It's probably half the reason why your stuff sounds so good right now. And everybody in the chat's loving it too. So good stuff. You guys dropped a couple more in here. All right, let's see what Ben's been working on. He said this one is not crazy loud. Hope he's okay. All right, Ben, do this. Yo, get bro. I have time for you, Gabriel. Drop it. Respect the gazelle. Thank you so much, Jaden. Yeah, okay, so this one, I love the vibe. I think that it would be cool to hear you break away from a couple of norms, like throw a bunch of verb at the base, right? A bunch of like delay, bed back, wash out, twist it up, pull it back into a nice clean mix. I would also challenge you to play a bit with just really simple attack, decay, and sustain release modulation changes. So you're affecting the delivery of the shape of the sound, not just the timing, right? And I think that those two things would play really well with this kind of minimal palette that you're playing with. I know it's early, but how much more busy is the palette going to get? Like, is it going to stay this sparse? Because if so, then I would love like some long form granular delay play. You know what I'm saying? Like dotted bar delays or you know um like half triplets, little pitch manipulation. if it stays this sparse. Yeah, I think on this one I would stick to simplicity and space and giving the elements enough time to like fully play through whatever you've just done to them, right? So if you're doing subtle manipulations to attack and decay, for instance, over a period of time, make sure that you give our ears a chance to like contextualize that, right? Like understand the difference that just happened before the next thing, right? Just take us on a little journey. Yeah, it is a good track. Um, I like it. I like it. I do like the width on that bass too. All right, let's hit who's next in here. We're not going to turn this into a full-on, full-blown feedback stream though, guys. I know we're all kind of pent up. Siren. Ooh. This one, it's called Heartbroken. Pros ratio. Welcome in. Great handle, by the way. There's the
System overload. Goodbye. System overload.
yeah. Oh man. This is fantastic. Siren, who are you in the chat? Where are you? Where are you? Have I seen you in the chat here? Not sure that I do. I'm hoping that you're in the room and listening, though. Oh, there you go. Sleepy Sad Girl. Uh, one, uh, this is fantastic. Like, it's really, really good sound design, and you have a very clear idea of what you want in every single one of your modulation assignments. And it's very clear. Your stopping points are great, your depth, the rate at which each one of them progresses, all of it's really, really ace. The one thing that kind of stands out to me in the entirety of this thing is EQ work. I think EQ work is really, um, it's like time to roll up the sleeves. You've got a lot of meticulous detail work in your synthesis, and now what you want to do is to have all of that heard at the level that um, like we really want it to be at, right? The clarity, the definition of each one of your sounds as it's articulating through all of these complex changes. It's not as sharp and clear as it could be, and it's just a matter of EQ work. So there's not really much else in the way of processing um, for like 95% of your tracks project. It's really just EQ work. The one thing that I would say you could spend some time on is the snare, specifically in those build-ups and those wind-ups. It felt pretty predictable and pretty run-of-the-mill, and nothing else in this track is really. I mean, you spent some time finding the right space for everything, the right saturation. Um, you obviously spent a fair bit of time with wavetables and stuff. So um, put a little bit more time in on the snare, and I think you'll be rewarded tenfold. All right, so here's some specifics. I would roll up the subs, both in volume and hertz. So I would cut the subs. It feels like it's sitting somewhere between like 23 and 30 right now, and I would roll that up to at least 45. You could probably roll it all the way up to like 48. Just keep your dB per octave curve mellow, right? Try like a 12 dB per octave curve. What it sounds like right now is something that's a little tighter and lower. And what's happening there is you're expending the large majority of energy reproducing waves that you can't actually hear, but they have a massive impact on the way that we're perceiving the rest of the mix. And the very first thing that happens when you roll that up is there's a lot more energy now that can be redistributed to serving up the rest of your sounds with more clarity. So there's that. And I would also turn the subs down. I would start by turning it down by like maybe 6 dB and listening to it. Definitely turn on some monitoring plugins so you can visually correlate what you're hearing and seeing. If you don't have a way to really monitor your sub levels um, in the room that you're producing in, it's totally fine. You can still just pay close attention to your meters. The sub should never really be dominant over the rest of things, because what happens in those situations is it's triggering your plugins in ways that you are probably not wanting them to. So you want to make sure that your sub levels are below the meat of the signal that's coming through your plugins. EQ work on individual elements in the mix, not just the low end, but there are a couple of mid-low spots in a few of the sounds where I'm hearing like, oh yeah, we could take out like a few dB at least here around 300 hertz. So just kind of go through and listen specifically to each sound, both in solo and in context, so you can kind of suss out what needs to be done there. Oh, this rapid ARP element towards the end is fantastic. And it feels like there's something that could be done to that kind of over time. And maybe it's like a swell of some sort where something kind of it reaches some kind of a crescendo and then it never goes back to that peak again. And just a general comment, you do this little bit of tremolo play across a few different elements and it syncs everything up and glues them really, really nicely there. And it's one of just like several different decisions that you made in this that was really impressive and like really, really satisfying to listen to. Made it more unique. Really, really good stuff. Really good stuff. Let's see what the chat's saying. Saf is saying, Sleepy Sad Girl probably really likes Sophie. If you're not familiar with Sophie, um, go check out Sophie. She sadly passed. Um, Gosh, I guess we're coming up on a couple of years now. But go check it out. Yeah, this is good stuff. All right, let's see what else we got here. Oh, we got something new from Martin. Hey, Martin's got a couple of new releases coming soon. I know Quirky has a new release coming soon. When these things drop, I expect you guys to spam the Discord and chat during live streams and stuff, so you get proper attention. Martin says we're gonna rework the breakdowns to get kind of a new line for the breakdown, so still kind of early process. Also, hi chat.
I know that you're calling. I know that I'm falling slowly. I know it's a burden. I know that you're hurting for me. Maybe we can fight this feeling.
Oh, what?
Share our demons, follow me slowly, and I can be your sweet elixir, a poison whisper. Listen to me slowly. I'm a gold. I'm a gold. I'm a gold. Slowly. I know what you're doing, and I let it happen slowly. You can take what you need. I just wanna be free. Only. Maybe we can fight this feeling. Share our demons, follow me slowly, and I can be your sweet elixir, a poison whisper. Listen to me slowly.
Dude. Martin. Man, you guys are just bringing you know what this makes me feel right now is like I just missed your the feedback Fridays with you guys during the couple of weeks that I was out with COVID. I thought about it on both Fridays quite a bit about how it's a really neat thing. Uh Like it's way better than just simple like awesome music discovery time, right? Because you're getting to hear everybody kind of evolve over time. You know what I mean? And y'all have some really great freaking ideas. You know what I'm saying? Hmm. Martin, the vocals on this are so good. Like it fills the main vocal as you start the track, it fills this space so well. Just like chef's kiss well, right? But then when the when the backing vocals get like when you start up the layering, everything shifts dramatically. And it's just even more vibey and I love it. And it's such a everything feels really in the pocket. And I know it's really early. Um It'd be cool to get like a little bit more ducking in the atmosphere in that spot, like at around 1 minute, maybe like 1 minute to 120 or something like that. Something that kind of builds a little bit of depth and then kind of backs off again. I think it'd be nice. Ricky is here. Fancy your pants. Spike the Gazelle. Good to see you, homie. Hope you're doing well. Have we seen you since the new year? I can't remember. If not, Happy New Year. Hope you're doing well, brother. At 120, I'm feeling like maybe just a little, like super thin, subtle, almost transparent little whoosh, something for the transition support there. And then at like 144, right? I'm listening to this and I'm thinking to myself, transition's coming. I can feel it. I just don't hear the buildup. It'd be neat to hear a really long build on that, with just like an understated transition at the end. This whole thing is such a great vibe. Like, I don't even want to influence anything. I just want to know what comes next. Stuff. Walking breaks, jog and drops, you know. Yeah. Yeah, man, I think it's a serious vibe already, and I really can't wait to see what you do. I would love to hear a couple of swells in here, though. Respect the Gazelle. Thank you, Danny. Are we having like a little Pyrofam moment in here? Is that what's happening right now? It's close. Well, Ricky, regardless, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, anyway, Martin, getting back to this, it'd be cool to hear a couple of swells in general in here. Not like swells like noise swells or anything, more just like swells in regards to how the processing is being applied to something, right? Like have a nice little warm saturation swell somewhere on the base, right? That only happens the one time, right? And it's purely for emotional impact and nothing else. Yeah, this one feels great. Feels good. Let's see. Who else has anything to say about this one? Yeah, the tracks today are absolutely great, right, Josh? Yeah. Good drive work from home tune. Yeah. Yeah, it feels like one of those tunes that got memories wrapped up with, you know? Oh, dude, the cover arts? Yeah. Dude, look at these. This is awesome. Yeah, they're great. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. All right, where are we here? Oh yeah, we got something from Gabriel, and then we're gonna jump back into some cinematic ping stuff. Josh is wondering, totally off topic per usual. Anyone else see Jim and Andy, The Great Beyond? No. Martin says the goal is to release at least 9 to 10 songs this year. You can do it. I believe in you, homie. You can do it. And you can do it in style. Gabriel, how the hell are you? How have you been? How's life? All right, this one's called Ethnic Spirits from Gebra. Always brings the heat. Always so good.
أنت يا مسافر تارك الوطن
Oh man. I'm not even sure what this last instrument is. Maybe it's an Urdu or something. Some saturation on that. This is great. It's sweeping. It's a fantastic palette. And I like that you're not leaning too heavy into any one of the um, little maneuvers that you pulled out. I think I think there's a few things here that stand out to me. The sub, your frequency cuts with your sub and the levels, like it's all super on point. I'm not sure if you have like a new monitoring workflow in place, but that feels really, really choice. Um, and I really like where you're kind of skating the line between sound design and instrumentation or composition with this in the way in which the sounds are being introed as they come in. It's great. Um, at 55 seconds, maybe a small transition effect, just like a one bar noise based roll off the top, add some verb to cream it out. 135, and you've got a couple of these in this section here. Really nice use of transition effect for movement. The 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 vocal channel with the hey shout, and then there's some more stuff on it after that, but like from that moment on, I think that channel specifically can have just a little bit more saturation on it to give it a bit more of an edge. Upper harmonics. And also try A B, comparing the moving the saturation to after the reverb instead of in front of it, just to see what happens. It might give you a little bit more emphasis on um the distance between the main and the backing vocals, and that could have a really, really cool depth effect. A nice, like, cinematic separation there. At 212, I totally want more like upward expansion, because you've just killed the song and now it's bubbling up from the depths, and now it reaches this peak, but I want it to feel more open. So a little less downward compression there and more upward expansion. Um, and you can maybe shave off a little bit of the lows in the verb as well to kind of lift the load there just a little bit. And then lastly, some mid-side EQ at 247 on the choir to keep the lows out of the sides for clarity and weight. Again, kind of like what I was just saying with the other. And then removing some lows and mids in the reverb channel again on that one just to kind of lighten the load. There are some other pretty heavy things firing off at that same time. So I don't think you need quite as much gravity or low end presence on the choir in that moment. And then some saturation on the the woodwind at the end there, simply for definition. Let's see. And I'm not even sure if Gebro's in the room right now, but I'm sure you'll see this on the VOD. This was really good, and other people in the chat are saying very nice things too. Dave says spine chills. I was thinking The Mummy Part 6. This time he's Sandy. That's awesome. That's awesome. Really good stuff. Martin, I love you, but we only have 14 hours to save the Earth. We need a track so kicking that the alien invaders will give up altogether. I got you, my man. This is amazing. What's happening in the chat right now? We need some quick illustrations. Oh, the Chicago. Yeah, bro, you're amazing. That's all I got to say, man. You're amazing. Everything you make is great. Um, hey, by the way, how is portfolio working out for you? Like how is selling your stuff lately? How did 2022 go? And are you still dipping your toes into different marketplaces, or have you kind of settled? I'm curious. Oh, okay. All right, Dave's got one here, and then let's jump back to some sound design. This one is called Female Vocals.
Voy a volver, te cuento de noches contigo. Quiero saber de lo que yo te paso vida. Te desnudé, diciéndote muy despacito y yo logré. Cuando todos alcanzan mis salidas. Que no me quitará y que aún no querías parar. Que una vez no te basta, que me quedes encima de ti. Que de esa forma es que a ti te gusta. Y tú dices si lo hacemos realidad. Que no me quitará y que aún no querías parar. Que una vez no te basta, que me quedes encima de ti. Que de esa forma es que a ti te gusta. Y tú dices si lo hacemos realidad.
This is good, Dave. It's a fun one, and I was not expecting it when I clicked play on this. The bass is awesome. I love how audible it is. Like as you're dipping down in the register, it's still quite audible. I think that there's something with the kick though. Like in the second half of the song, I thought it felt a little too light or something, but in the first half of the song, I thought that I was feeling some sub presence that didn't really need to be there, and maybe it's a combination of the two. Maybe the pitch could come down just a little bit, so it's a little bit deeper feeling, and then roll up the low end cut just a little bit, so there's a little bit more separation between the sub and the kick. But you could get maybe a little more depth feeling from it. Um, Maybe it's just me. I would saturate these vocals. I think that it's the one part of the song that has the feel but not the aesthetic yet. It's almost there and it's missing just like a little bit of texture and a little bit more definition. So saturation is definitely the answer. Just spend a little bit of time finding the right one. And also, again, kind of like the last bit I was saying for Gebro, try A/B comparing the saturation that you add before and after the reverb and see which one you're liking. There's going to be a definitive difference between the two. Um, just make sure that you're EQing your reverb. And then also, I think I would probably play with some delay and some reverb sprays on the vocals, right? Like just these momentary washes of the vocals and like a couple of choice spots in the arrangement where they kind of linger in the air for just a moment. They would feel really nice. And then I think that it's kind of uh at the same level as the rest of the mix, right? Everything else kind of has this um the shared identity processing wise. So I think that's really the one thing that's missing. Anything else? Yeah, dude, Martin, right? Proud of you, my man. Oh wait, let's see here. Just the second half has a click. The first half doesn't. It's two different kicks. Okay, so I was hearing something different. I just touched, yeah, dragged her in and moved on. Definitely work on it. Yeah, cool. Also work out what language she's actually singing as it's my song. That's awesome. Yeah, Gaia's calling attention to the vocals too. They seem a little dry for how liquid the track is. Yeah, just really, best guess is Portuguese. Ooh. Yeah, I think the other thing that you might want to consider after you have the vocal like aesthetic in line with the rest of the track and you're feeling good about where everything is sitting, you might want to try playing around with messing with the vocal delivery just a little bit, like just in a couple of spots, just to make people pay a little bit closer attention. Just a quick little stutter here, a quick little repeat there. Maybe one word is reversed in a phrase in another spot, and that's it. Like nothing over the top, no weird glitching or anything, but just a couple of really subtle things. It'd be kind of a nice little hook to there. I want to make some of these layered pings now, I think. You guys brought some good stuff today. Yeah, I had to filter a couple of spots because she was kind of saying words that hissed into my definitely. Yeah. That's what happens when I like ask Siri to text someone for me. I'm like, the first half of that statement made all the sense in the world, and then the second half made me wonder if I was having a stroke. Oh, Martin is saying, I want to pick your brain someday to have a nice sound design session or just talk about stuff in general. Shoot, man, go for it. Do it right now. Yeah, I'm not sure that I'm really great at guessing languages either, Heidi. Um, what kind of sound design questions or topics are you wanting to wrangle, Martin? Okay, this right here, this track is yo, what up, Moonmont? Welcome in. This thing that we can barely hear here. Just making a quick little kick kind of transient sound. Just trying to figure out exactly where it needs to be. Let's just put that right here. And then I'll play some sounds for you guys to let you know what we're up to. Yeah, let's just put it an F maybe. All right, so tidy this up. Somewhere right here. Let's just check these three. Okay, I think it'll probably work. So, what has occurred with these pings? All right, so when last we met and we were making these pings 2 days ago, Respect the Gazelle. Thank you so much, Dave. Appreciate you, homie. Moonwan, give me just a few minutes to get to some feedback. We just did a little bit, and I was about to dip into this sound design here. We'll get you in just one sec. Cool, just random cool techniques. Yeah, Martin, you know what I want to do? And actually, this is a really good point to bring this up. I mentioned briefly in the stream on Monday that there's going to be some slight changes to scheduling for the live stream. And it's not going to be less live streaming from Chris. Don't worry. It's going to be more live streaming. It's just going to be on two channels. We're going to start doing regular streams again for Audio Design Desk, but just kind of revamped how I'm approaching the whole thing. And I'm going to make this channel a bit more, uh, more community, experimental, fun stuff, right? A little bit more feedback, a little bit more focus on tips, tricks, real talk, help you guys make some cash, make some really creative, unique stuff. And then on the Audio Design Desk channel, focus a bit more on the cinematic stuff and screen-based stuff, obviously. So I think what we should do, Martin, is we should have one of the days of the week kind of dedicated to just kind of play, I think, on the OhmLab stream. And I think that, we used to have this really, really popular ongoing series years ago called Modulators Modulating Modulators. And it was awesome because it was just a bunch of exploring of like really wonky, weird, experimental, advanced stuff. And yeah, there was never a bad one. So I would be very much into that. Very much into that. I'm also contemplating live streaming the plugin chatter sessions that I have with the team. So these are just meetups where we get together as a group, composers, sound designers, etc. And they pick a topic or a plugin or whatever, and then I just explore it with them for an hour or two, and pushing the limits, or like first understanding like the intended use, and then just pushing the limits of stuff and getting as weird as we can to kind of define where the boundaries are with these tools and spark new ideas for future releases and whatnot. But I'm contemplating live streaming some of that kind of stuff, some like behind the scenes kind of stuff. Would you guys have any interest in seeing more kind of behind the scenes, not quite as interactive, but more over the shoulder, fly on the wall kind of stuff? You guys have any interest in that? Guy is asking, do you do the chaos note on random thing in Serum or just let it roll default? It depends on what I'm making. And I love random. The power of random is awesome. It's like discovery in a button. Because what I do usually is use a saw or sine wave and process it to infinity with spaces to make something cool. Yeah, Martin, I tend to start with a really simple kind of core sound, like a basic building block, if you will, and then move into processing very quickly. And the reason why I do that is because the processing always works better. The more complex or more specific a sound in its starting state, it really restricts where the sound could go, like how much potential there is diminished greatly when the more specific a sound gets. So I would agree with you on that. And I think that that actually sparks another idea. We also used to have another ongoing series. This was many, many years ago now. This is going back like at least a dozen years or maybe a decade in the OhmLab world, where I was still doing a lot of reviews of both sound packs and libraries, but also plugins and instruments and stuff. And the effects plugins, I always started with a sine wave. And it would just be the same exact like generated sine wave in every single tutorial, and we would just go and go and go and go and go and go and go until we had like kind of reached some limits. But it's a great way to like get insight to like what has actually happened to your freaking sounds as you're twisting those knobs, Oh, Dave, don't sweat it, man. I'm going to give you feedback whether you're subbed or not. I do appreciate you, regardless. Moonwand, no, feedback is not sub only. You are the goat. Nah, I don't think I'm the goat, but thank you. um, Ripboy saying, I think we should do a track where you say the chord progression, give one of us bass, one pad, one lead effect. We don't hear each other's work. You combine our individual bits and you play the whole thing to us. Yeah, let's absolutely do that. Yeah, any kind of interactive, engaging, like community stuff, I am wide open. Wide open. Respect the gazelle. Thank you so much, Moonwand. Appreciate you. Hey, really quick, for those that are new and you are now subbed, you get free sounds every single month when you sub. Currently, there are actually 2 sound packs up for grabs. It's on the Discord. What you want to do is you want to link your Discord and your Twitch profiles, and then you will magically see subscriber rewards appear. And when you click in there, you're going to find 2 sound packs. They're both dialogue sound packs from 2 different watch parties that we've had here on the live stream. One is from the movie Santa Conquers the Martians, and the other one is from Reefer Madness. And we're going to have another one out soon from the movie Gas, which we watched earlier in the month. Well, actually, no, it's officially February now. It's the second month of this year already. Wow. Which I have not finished editing yet. So I will get those posted at some point. My apologies for being behind. COVID took me out this month. So, but for those who are currently subbed, you have about 500 really kick-ass dialogue samples that you can freely use in your productions sitting here. Ooh. Guy Doer just dropped a serum preset into Found Sound that we might enjoy. We'll check that out in a bit. A brilliant idea. I agree, Dave. Yeah, okay, cool. So you guys would be interested in more over the shoulder and behind the scenes stuff with the team. Okay, so that stuff would be coming out on the Sound On channel probably, or whatever we're gonna call it. Um, uh, so you guys can get to know the audio design desk team a little bit too, which will be fun. Okay, my next question in all of that is redesign challenges. I know that some of you already work with creating music and sound for screen, right? And you're fairly comfortable with this, and some of you have never done this, but appreciate watching. And I want to know how many of you in this community, in this room right now anyway, are interested in dipping your toes into the water of redesigning scenes, right? And so what that means is a small video clip, maybe it's like 30 seconds long or something like that. It could be from a movie or a television show or a video game or something like that. And you extract the audio from it and you lay down new audio on it, right? You put in all of your own sound beds and sound design and effects and Foley and vocalizations and music and whatnot. I would love to know how many of you would like to dip your toes into the water. They was saying, yeah, the other day I used a random LFO to change the lead instrument on a synth every 2 bars to whatever came out better than you'd expect. Yeah, definitely. Martin, we should do the podcast thing. Absolutely. Yeah, we got to spark up a conversation. Danny. Martin says, really curious how many people are on the team. Oh, it's a small team. It's like 10 people. Let's see here. Well, and we've also got some contractors, but let's see here. Yeah, it's like 10 people. And not everyone is even full time on it. I'm not sure how we've been able to do what we do. We just got 2 more awards in the last week. and they were both one was Fast Company. I can't remember what the other one was right now, but the last winners were like I think Canva won it last year, and I think maybe Figma won it the year before. It's like the most innovative tech of the year award or something. I don't know. Uh, Anyway, let's listen to this thing that Wizard sent through, and then dip back into some design work and be productive for a little. All right, let's check this.
It's been a while since I've seen your face. How you been? I've really missed this place. Just so you know, you haven't been replaced. Guess I still think of you now, like nothing has changed. It's always been you. It's been a while since I've seen your face. How you been? I've really missed this place. Just so you know, you haven't been replaced. Guess I still think of you now, like nothing has changed.
It was great. It was great. A really, really good arrangement. Your palette is solid. Like you've nailed the genre. You're obviously very comfortable with it. I think there's a couple of things happening here that I would suggest fixing before releasing. One is rolling up the sub cutoff just a little bit. There are some frequencies down there that you just simply do not need. You can feel them more than you can hear them, and you don't need to change anyone's heartbeat with this kind of music. So you're definitely going to benefit from rolling it up. That it's just going to make the rest of your mix nicer. I would put a little saturation on the vocals. Right now, they sound good. Like the way that you've mixed them and treated them sounds good, but they're not quite sitting on top of everything. And we're going to get to that just a little bit more here. There are some sub frequencies in the sides of the mix that you should quell if you can, mid side if you need to. But this is just for the sake of clarity and balance for the rest of the sounds in the mix, especially on the sides. So you've got a bass that feels really wide, and part of the lowest frequencies can be taken out as you move away from center. Okay, which is why I bring up the mid-side EQ as an option, because what you can do is on the mid channel, you can leave everything exactly as it is. And then on the side channel, you just roll up those lows and take out like the bottom 150 or so, 200 hertz, something like that, and see how it feels to you. It should feel like there's more clarity and like the bass is a bit more nimble. kind of stands out. It's a bit more pronounced. The other thing it's going to help with is clarity with all the other sounds there. It also sounds like you might have some compression being applied to everything, like on a bus or something. And I think what's happening here is that there are some bass levels, some sub-frequency levels that are peaking above the rest of the mix. And your plugins, none of your plugins actually know what they're listening to. The only thing that they're aware of is signal strength. Okay, so when you set that threshold parameter in your compressor, that means that it's just keeping an eye out for signal strength. And if the signal strength reaches the point of that threshold, it triggers the compression. And that's it. It happens immediately, right? There's the attack, which is the delay of how much time it's going to take to kick in. There's that, but that's in milliseconds, right? And then there's the knee, the rate at which that actually is occurring. But that's it. Everything else is instantaneous. So if those sub levels are triggering your compression, that means that you're bringing down the level of everything right there, right? So the heart and soul of the sound has never actually been allowed to reach the peak that you had intended for it. So I would take a look at the low levels in general. But definitely roll up the subs and that will help. And then take out some of the low frequencies on the sides and that will help. Then go through and listen to each one of your individual tracks in the project and make sure that you're rolling up as much as you can on the low end. You don't want to murder the life force of the sound, so don't take out too much, but listen to it solo and then again in context and make sure that you're saving as much as you possibly can. It's just like saving cash, right? It might seem kind of silly to worry about 2 cents on that one thing, but if you worry about 2 or 3 cents on everything in your shopping cart, you save several dollars, right? So it's kind of the same thing. These things kind of add up over time. Everything else in this is really solid, so don't touch any of it, really, honestly. Your arrangement's pretty solid. Your production quality is really good. You know the genre. And let's see. Let's see what the chat says. Martin saying, nice old school deep vibes. Yeah. Nice vocal work, says Ricky. Nice, just a smidge too much side chaining on the lead for my taste. Feels like our head is wobbling between 2 inches and 7 inches from the mic. That's Dave. I would say the same. I didn't mention it in here, but that is one thing that I would mention just moving forward in your productions. Try to stagger the ducking. Right now, everything feels like it's very en masse, right? So you've probably got a compressor that is managing the ducking and everything's being fed to it, right? So what you can do is, and I know this takes just a little bit more time in CPU, but not much. Put the compressors on there individually. You can copy and paste it over, right? And now start adjusting the parameters on each one to be just slightly different, and it's going to have a bit more of a natural kind of organic feel, and it won't be quite as abrupt and harsh. It's similar to spreading the voice of a synth, right? It's the fine tuning mechanism for ducking. And the other thing is, don't duck as deep on the vocals because it's going to affect the long range perception of loudness and clarity. We can't we don't hear the same way that plugins monitor. Like we can look at something and make sense of it and say, all right, that looks about right. But our brains don't process the same way that our logic works. So it's just kind of important to keep that in consideration for vocals moving forward. Oh, and Martin has a good point. He says, I would try to add a nice plate layer in the back just to provide more space to the bass. And Martin's offering for a hookup for the release, which is nice. Moonwand, chase that opportunity down because Martin is offering you some nice assistance here. Danny, am I going to NAMM and whatnot? I'm not sure. I'm undecided right now. The both big trade shows are back to back this year. You've got to drive from LA to Vegas. Like while one is wrapping up, you got to be setting up for the other and starting the other. So I don't know why they did that this year. But after just having COVID, I'm not as excited about going. Moonwand, I'll do one better for you. I'll just copy this and put it in here for you. Oh, and you know what, Moonwand, if you're looking for someone to help you with the mastering or any of the mixing stuff, I mean, I think you probably got that under control. But mastering, hit up Masters by Iggy. He's on the Discord. He's already gone to sleep here today, but he was in the chat earlier. But definitely hit him up. He'd be a brilliant person to stick on that for you. And yeah, Moonwan, you've also got VODs here. Man, all y'all are great. I'm just catching up with the chat here. You guys are great. Oh, Danny, yeah, if I am there, you will know, and we will absolutely hook up. We will definitely meet up. Blackberry's here. What's up, dude? How you doing? Oh. Oh. Debut album is getting close from Imaginate. All right. Let's get back into logic here. All right, so what was I saying before? When last we saw each other on a Monday when I was working on this, we were just starting to bounce the sounds. Very quick and simple workflow. Knocked out a simple sine, a triangle, a square, a sawtooth. These are just general pings. And then I twisted them in a few different directions. Made some crushed ones. Of various kinds. And some weird discordish ones. So there's a bunch of like really left of center cool ones. And then there's also just really simple building block ones, which I think will be well appreciated by people with lots of plugins. Okay, so pings, right? So then the next step is to get in here and got to make a little sub drop. And this is very quiet right now. Let me just pull this up and I'll put like some overdrive on it or something so you can hear it. But right now it's literally just there for the sub presence. So very, very simple. And then I just, as we were walking into that last little bit of feedback, I made this kick. It's just the kick transient. That's really all it is. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to EQ this kick transient. And you can see like, here's our sub bass range, right? We're going to bring that up. We're going to squish this over. I'm not worried about phase. Bring this over nice and tight. All right, so we've got our kick layer. This is our drop. And we're gonna EQ this as well. And on that overdrive so you can hear it. I'm gonna bring this down all the way to about 30 or so. We'll let people make their own sound design decisions. They're EQing. I'm gonna roll off the large majority of the upper frequencies there. And then we'll just start layering this. Well, we can just freely drag this around in our timeline, right? Because these are like just generic drop-ins. So very much similar to other cinematic hit workflows that you guys have seen from me in the past. So what we can do is kind of take this over to a new space, the arrangement window. And let's take one of these sine waves and we'll just do a quick little test. We need to get a volume balance worked out first. Right, so we need to bring the drop down. So I'm going to take off that overdrive that I added for you. Actually, I'll bring it back and then dial it down. Down like 5 dB. And then this kick actually has to have a bunch of verb on it, or it's not going to work right. So we're going to do two things. We're going to add some harmonics before it goes into that verb. So now it has kind of like an impulse response, or a like an exciter pulse or something like that. It's just a little something to kick this verb, and we'll put a big shimmer on it, and we can mix it up 1 octave, put it into a big stereo single, keep it pretty darn diffused, roll off the lows, some of the highs. That's a pretty cool effect. This is very hard to hear right now, I bet. So I'm going to turn this up just a bit more. A little bit more drive on that. All right, let's listen to these 3 again. That's pretty close. That's pretty close. We'll bring down our drop here a bit. And we need to put ins and outs on these guys. This one needs a little fade in curve. And I'm actually going to put just a slightly bigger fade in on the kick transient. There we go. And this drop, I'm going to put on a 50-second curve. 25. Just give it a little bit more distance from the kick. Go. So now all I have to do is start dragging over the individual waveform sounds, right? So it's a pretty closed circuit workflow, and then you can take those and you can flip them. Since we're using basic waveforms as the topper, respect the gazelle. Thank you so much, Polly. I appreciate you. 24 months, dude. Come on. Really? Wow. Can't hear right now because Chipotle is rambunctious, but I'm sure whatever is being made right now sounds exhilarating. That's awesome. Thank you, sir. Ooh, currently chatting with some PR. Nice, dude. Thanks, Danny. Oh, I get to see you today. It's redawning on me. I get to see you today. All right, let's get back to this. And just as a quick little test, I'm just going to slide these over one at a time and make sure that I can hear each one. Okay, I want more from this, so I'm going to here add a size. Yeah. That's the juice right there. Okay, and do one last little bit here. Right before the overdrive, I'm going to insert a transient master. And this is to force a little bit more of a click. I'm just going to force the fake little... Yeah, these feel fine, and then we can make and kind of unify them with some satch or something. So what we'll do see here. Work. Let's just do that on the out. It'd actually be a really simple. What do we need? We need some supercharger. Our trim down a bit. All right, that's good. We'll bring up our levels here. We want to stay within the LUFS range that I've set. All right, so I'm going to add back a couple of decibels here, and I'm going to move this in front of the overdrive, and then I'm going to use the overdrive manage loudness control. That way we get all the depth and body that we're wanting to add from the compression changes. And we still live within the standards that it's not doing it for me though, this overdrive. So let's try something else. Let's go to thermal, and I've just got a little glue preset that I've made. Very simple. There we go, that's better. I think I prefer that. So we're going to roll. We're going to apply a bit more of this. A little bit more mid-drive. Let's take down the output a couple dB. And now I can hear the sub drop a bit too much. Change our volume. All right, so I've taken that down a good like 60. This drop. What is it that's bumping me? Maybe what we need is hey, what's up, Polly? How you doing, man? Yeah, maybe it's fine actually for a plain Jane. Let's bring over a weird one really quick, and we'll still hear some stuff that's spread out. Frequencies. Alright, so this is still 2p. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is we're going to add just the basics to this, the sine, the square, the triangle, and sawtooth, I think. I think 19 offs. and cut down a bit, and we're going to up. All right, so for those playing along at home, I've taken that sub drop down just over 9 dB. Let's kick one last time on solo. Add. I'm still feeling like this is kind of lacking. Okay, let's put that after. All right, let's see how that. All right, I think it's all right. Let's go ahead and smaller and start bouncing some stuff. All right, so this, we're gonna have to call this what? Pitch synthetic, and then oh shoot. I just realized I'm gonna have to go through and make sure that all these actually read C after all the processing. All right, so this is going to be sine layered. Sine layered. And it's a little spicy. All right, so this will be number 3. And all right, so let's just make sure those bounced all right, and we'll kind of speed this up here. Here's our sine. Here's our sine layer. Cool. Cool. Okay, I think it sounds all right. So let's just do those with the other guys here. Just the basics: salt, pepper, butter, sugar. Just your basic mirepoix here. Onion, celery, carrot. Dude, Martin, you got scammed? What the hell, dude? Oh. Thank you. I'm glad you like my verb, Danny. Or Ben, sorry. Dude, what the hell? Who scammed you? Let's go take him down. What'd you spend 1,000 points on? Let me take a look. Name a sound. Hey, what newt newt. Newt newt. Newt newt. We actually have this big old document that Heidi basically owns. She has like 98, 99% of all of the names on this list. Newt Newt. I love it. Newt Newt. We need to have just some serious sandbox time in some live streams. I think I need it. Like, not working on an official release of any kind, just playing. You know what I'm saying? Jaden, yeah, still here. And thank you so much for this up. Welcome to Name a Sound. You can sit next to me. It's a good sitting partner. Heidi's good people. All right, let's check out these squares here. All right, so it's a little bit spicy. That is all right. All right, so we'll start up the square series here. And aesthetic. This is square. And that's number 2. Yep. You're wondering why I'm doing individual exports instead of a batch process. It's simply just a matter of this one. So I've got effects set up on a few different tracks, and that. Sweet, that's right on the money. All right, so there's number 4. But if these were all just source sounds and I wasn't doing a whole bunch of processing on them right now, I would just select the whole big old lot of them and do one export. Okay, and this was the triangle. And one in the series. If we're going to have more time together to work on more free play kind of stuff, what are the kinds of things that you guys desire to see? Because each time there's like a chance to change things up, I kind of jump at the opportunity, honestly. I like keeping things fresh. So what else do you guys see in the world of sound? Cool, that's right on the money as well. 4. One last batch. Hey, Jaden, congratulations. Just released the song. You can go ahead and feel free to share links here and on the Discord if you like. Why is that seat wet, though? Martin. Oh. Martin, this is reminding me of the end of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You ever see that movie? Good plan. I bite people. Heidi. Oh my goodness. So wait, you're an alien. So if a human bites you, what happens to them? All these sounds may make you snacky. This stream brought to you by popcorn. Sounds are now annoying. Aliens? Aliens? Where? What? That triangle sounds nice. All right, let's get these sawtooths out. Let's do that. Just about there. We'll take this down like 2. Works. All right. This is going sawtooth. A 1. Still a little spicy. Disco. Number 3. And number 4. All right, cool. So we got all our basic waveform layers done, and that takes me up to, I've got 48 in here. All right, so I also made a series of FM pings, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about them yet, because some of them sit between like a traditional stinger and ping sound. Ooh, let me take off all of that stuff. It's all of that stuff. Thermal, supercharger. Not quite sure if I want to call these pings or if I want to save them for stingers. But I really want to increase the variety of pings in general, just in the world. I kind of want to process them as separate batches. I need to sit on that and think. Zombie Lunchbox started it. Oh, yeah, right? Future Rave Lead. Oh, man. You got an offer for management. Turn them down. They seem super... Good for you, then. Good for you. Good looking out. Not quite sure what to do. Just can't quite decide. So when I can't decide, I just move on to something else. So let's do that. Let's go up where? All right, so we'll call this piano. Something else. I want something kind of plain, actually. So maybe something library.